Hey everybody, welcome to DraftKings. That's right, it's week one of the English Premier League. Joining me today is Andy Davies, Jamie Hinks, and our guest commentator today, we have got Nick Webb. So, gentlemen, we are going to talk about our 8-man roster. That's right, where we have looked at all the players on offer from this weekend's action, and we have all selected a goalkeeper, 2 defenders, 2 midfielders, and 2 strikers, as well as a utility player. That's a player that could be of any position that will slot in there. All obviously in the hope of winning us points and beating each other up. That's what we want to do, right? And everybody else out there to win money, prizes, and, of course, acclaim. I'm going to start with you, Nick. Have you got a goalkeeper for us? Who is he?
I went for West Brom's Ben Foster.
Solid.
See a shake already? Yeah, solid. That's what I went for. Solid. He played, half the matches last season only? 15, I think. But that means he's got something to prove. And he's been through the England camp and he went through the Man U camp, 3 years ago? So,
yeah. A bit longer, but yeah, he did.
4 or 5. God, getting old, man. But he's been through those camps, and I'm hoping if he gets a lot of game time, and especially this first week, Ben Foster's going to be points for me. And he was pretty cheap as well.
Well, it depends, of course, on how many saves he makes. That's the thing. I mean, goalkeepers, they make points through their saves, and he's a very good shot stopper. He is. Jamie, how do you see this? Who's your goalkeeper?
I've gone Steve Mandanda, Crystal Palace, 5,100.
He's going to have a lot of work to do.
I'm not sure about that. I think Palace have got a really good look at a win and a clean sheet in this game. West Brom don't score many goals. He needs to play well to keep his place because Wayne Hennessy played very well in the summer. He's still there. It's going to be between those two. If Mandanda doesn't play, then I can just swap him out for Hennessy because he's ludicrously cheap this week, Wayne Hennessy.
All right.
4,100. I think he's the... Joe Hart's so expensive that I couldn't spend 5,600 on him. So I thought, I'll go to the next level down. And I think Mandanda's the best of that kind of middle of the road group of keepers.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's selecting a goalkeeper you think is going to do well and hopefully keep a clean sheet. Andy, who's your goalkeeper? I'm not going to say traditionally you dislike goalkeepers because I think that was very last season and very hack.
I love this goalkeeper.
I think you do love goalkeepers.
I love
Prove
this
it.
goalkeeper.
Who have you selected?
I love this goalkeeper more than any other goalkeeper in the league.
Go for it.
I've gone for Hugo Lloris.
Oh.
The French captain, Spurs captain, future Tottenham legend, Hugo Lloris. He's 5,000. He's $100 cheaper than your fella. So if yours is the best of the middle range of keepers, then you're saying your keeper's better than Hugo Lloris. I think not.
I think, gentlemen, calm down. I think where you're going though is that you don't think West Brom are going to challenge him so much in terms of.
No, I mean he'll make like one save, I think Mandanda, whereas I think Lloris might make a few more.
I think
exactly. And what a save's worth?
2 points.
Yes.
Oh, there you go, everybody.
So
we're here to entertain. We're here to educate you as well. That's right. Saves are worth 2 points.
Because Lukaku is going to pepper his goal.
Salomon Rondon is not going to
he's got
all to his body, so it'll save him. So I've gone with
you
Hugo.
for letting one in?
2 minus 2.
Letting them -2. That's right.
Which is
But Steve Mandanda's going to save a penalty for 3 points.
Okay. There we go. We're a bunch of Nostradamuses today, everybody.
only because Romelu Lukaku's going to sky his penalty over the bar.
Andy, I know you're excited, so I'm going to stay with you. Your defenders. Who are your 2 defenders, and why have you chosen?
I've gone for Matt Loughton of Burnley.
Bump me one.
Bump you one.
I
There we
went for
go.
Matt Loughton too.
Whoa.
Right.
Slow down. We'll get to you.
Just join in the fun.
Reason being, he's now Burnley's regular right back. So when we were in the Premier League last time, Kieran Trippier was their right back, who now came to Spurs. Burnley like to allow their fullbacks to bomb forward. So and Matt Loughton's cheap, 3,500. And I've like possibly everyone around this table, I'm trying to put a little bit aside for my midfielder attack. So 3,500 for Matt Loughton. But in case he has an absolute nightmare, I've gone for a reliable source of points on DraftKings, and that's Kyle Walker of Spurs. Win or lose, Tottenham, as we know, they play with their fullbacks being their main attackers on the flank. So he's going to dribble, he's going to cross. His crosses aren't going to go anywhere, they never do. But he's going to cross many, many times. And at 5.2 thousand, I've gone for Kyle Walker.
Okay, some decent amount of money's gone at your defence. Nick, how about yourself? Who are your 2 defenders?
I had a similar sister. I went for Matt because he was cheap, solid, and he saw 20.
We can call him Matt now.
You can, Matt.
First name basis.
Mr. Loughton. Sorry.
These 2.
Big Bad Matt got 25 games last year.
Bad Matt.
Big Bad Matt got 25 games last year and more in the years before. And again, cheap, 3,500. Yeah, and they like to run him up. I think he's going to get cross points as well.
Yep.
I went for stability as my second pick, but I actually went for one of yours. I went Danny Rose.
Danny.
I went Danny, Big
Danny
Danny,
boy, yeah.
Big Danny, Mr. Rose. Again, he got 9.1 last year.
Average,
was his
average.
Yeah, and he wasn't overly expensive, but solid. He had a solid Euro as well. He's going to have a solid season. I think he's just points, and you're right, we need to save points for the midfielders, or the forwards in my case. So, yeah, I went for Rose and Matty.
Excellent. Jamie, round us up. Who are your defenders?
Going for another Matt. It's not Matt. It's not Big Bad Matt.
Big Bad
Matt, no.
It's Matt Target, Southampton's 4,200. Loves to get forwards. He got played at left wing a couple of times last season by Koeman. So, and Ryan Bertrand's out injured, so he's definitely going to play 4,200. He's so cheap. Cheaper still, George Friend, Middlesbrough, 4,000. 2.3 tackles and 2.5 interceptions per game last year, which is really good considering Borough's. I mean, you don't tend to get that many points from fullbacks usually. They're usually saved for the defensive midfielders, so to have those stats already is really good. Borough are going to be defending a lot in this game, I think. And also, he had the only better dribblers in their team were Gaston Ramirez and Albert Adoma, so he was third in that list, which is really good when you've got people like Downing, and you've also got some central midfielders there who like to break forward. So he's obviously going to score points. And he's a new player, Borough. I think they'll keep a clean sheet as well, so that'll be 3 more points.
All right, very astute picks. Nick, I'm going to switch to you now. Midfield. Who are your 2 midfielders and why have you picked them?
Well, I went a bit all around the houses, I have to say, but I settled on Aaron Lennon.
Aaron, all right.
Yeah, old but reliable, trustworthy. You know, like a reliable black lab. You know, that's what I went for. And I took a weird one. I took Lee Chung-Yong because he was cheap and I needed points for my midfield.
How much was
3.5 was
Wow.
Lee Chung-Yong, 3.5. But he had a pretty good season last season. Was it the season before he had a good season then?
He hardly played last year.
He had 14 games, I think, but he's getting me points, and I thought I was really low on money at this point, man. I worked my way
Really?
down.
Okay.
But I fiddled about, and I like him, man. He's called the Blue Dragon as well, which is pretty cool. It's his nickname.
That's a cool nickname.
Yeah, the
That
Blue
is cool,
Dragon.
actually.
So when I was sitting there, I had 3 to pick from, and I was like, Blue Dragon. And there's a Chinese called the Blue Dragon. That's really nice food. So I was like, yeah, let's give that a go.
You know what, Nick? Love your logic.
Not all of it is logic. Sometimes you just have the right amount of points for the right player.
Well-
you have to go with it.
Well, I'm going to keep a specific eye on the Blue Dragon this weekend to see how he does.
we
for you.
should.
Andy Davies, who's your midfield?
I've gone for Kevin De Bruyne, as he's going to have a field day against Sunderland. And yeah, I mean, we said last year he was injured for most of last season, and when he came back, he was so strong, worth so many points. There's every chance De Bruyne, more than likely, being the highest scoring midfielder on DraftKings this season. He is that good. He does everything. And he's not cheap at 9.3 thousand, but you've got to put your money aside for him. They're going to have a field day against Sunderland. Alongside him, what I think, which is a bit of a bargain at 5.3 thousand, is Nathan Redmond. I've gone for him for Southampton, as I said earlier. I'm looking forward to seeing how he fares in a better team than Norwich, and I think I've got Southampton down for a 2-0 win, so there could be maybe a goal and an assist from the Davy boy Nathan. So there we go.
Really like your midfield. Jamie, can you top it? Who's your midfield?
I've managed to go cheaper than Lee Chung-Yong.
No
You
way.
didn't think that was possible,
What
right?
was it?
David Jones from Burnley, 3,400. There was only one other player in Burnley who had more assists than him last season, that was Andre Gray. So he had 7 assists, takes quite a lot of set pieces, plays in central midfield but likes to drift wide quite a lot, and he had 7.6 crosses per game last season. So, I mean, the ability is there. I really don't trust Swansea at the back without Williams, and I think Jones will get a lot of time to just cross the ball in all day, and who better to cross it into than Andre Gray. Alongside him, I've gone for Dele Alli, who is only 8,200. He scored a really good goal against Everton last season. Yeah. 10 goals, 9 assists is so impressive for his first season in the Premier League, and he's only going to get better. He plays with one of the top 3 strikers in the Premier League in Kane, and them two linking up together again, they're so effective. He also, his shots in his other categories, 2.2 shots per game, 2.2 tackles per game, almost 2 interceptions per game and 2 fouls drawn per game. So you're going to get above 10 points with Ali every single week of the season. And if he scores, it's just another bonus on top.
Excellent. I really like that Jones pick, by the way. I think that's solid research as ever, Jamie. That's what we come to expect from you. Nick, your strikers, that's it. reveal who are your strikers. We've saved your money. Who have you gone for?
This is actual logic now, okay? Not just
Okay.
food that I like. So yeah, I took Aguero.
Of course.
He's he's just points. I mean, I know he was a lot of points. He's the most expensive, second most expensive.
He's the most expensive.
Most expensive. So, but he just scores. He's just a machine, and I've got him scoring at least 3 this weekend. So, and his work output. That's the other thing. He works. He doesn't just hang around. He's running back. He's running forward. He's going to make me points in the midfield as well. So he's just a machine. And yeah, I took Lukaku, and I know he's questionable, but they don't have to be on target for that many points. And if you throw enough, you'll get points. So I'm hoping.
Nick, I'm going to back you on this.
Yes,
I'm going to back you on both your choices because I think, Aguero is a flat track bully. Let's get that straight. He's going to destroy Sunderland. I'm certain of it. And as for Lukaku is in the shop window. He wants to leave. He's going to make as many statements as he can. Can he do it against a reliable Tottenham defence? That's what remains to be seen. But I think that's a canny pick. I do. Jamie, who's your strikers?
Aguero.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. I've got Aguero. I don't really need to see anything else. He had the third highest amount of shots last season as well, just to add on even more praise for him.
And more points. You get points for shots as well.
Yeah, like shots, and like a lot of them will have been on target. Him, Kane, and Coutinho are like almost in a class of their own at the top of like average shots per game. And then Andre Gray, 7,600. He's going to score this week. He's going to score a lot of goals this season, but also 8 assists as well last season. That's really good for a centre forward. Where I mean, you don't usually see that from a striker. Them getting 8 assists to go along with the 23 goals. I mean, you wouldn't.
It's a massive step up in class, though, isn't it?
It is a step up, but you've seen Callum Wilson do it. You've seen other players do that, and I mean, Burnley's team isn't that dissimilar to Bournemouth, I would say, in terms of ability. And Wilson and Gray, if Wilson can do it, Gray can do it. I think.
No, very good choices again. You're looking at Burnley. We're looking at the bargains that Burnley have got right now, and Andre Gray is someone to look at. Right, Andy, I love your choices. I always do. That's why I've saved you to last. Who are your strikers, mate? Are we just going to say Aguero?
I've gone for Aguero, obviously, because he's going to probably be the highest scoring player on DraftKings this weekend. But then when I was picking my team, I went for Aguero and I got bored. And I looked at the list of strikers and I thought, reliable, yeah, okay. I wanted to spend around 7,000 on my striker. And I was bored with my team, so I thought I'm going to inject a little bit of excitement into my team.
Okay.
And I'm going to get my Stetson on, and I'm going to get all my chips, and I'm going to just push them out into the middle of the table and go all in on black or red, right? And I've stuck it all on Negredo.
Excellent.
Yeah. It's either going to go one way or the other. His season is going to go one way or the other.
And it all starts on week 1.
It all starts this week.
Excellent.
He'll either smash it for Middlesbrough this week, and we'll be like, Andy was he had the foresight, didn't he? Picking Negredo the first week, and you'll all be looking back when he's worth 14,000 at the end of the season because he's scored so many points. Oh, you'll be laughing at me when he's still down the bottom and you're dusting him off at 3,500. But it's all going to start this weekend. It's going to go one way or the other. I just thought I'm going to have a bit of fun, so I've gone for Negredo.
And why not? I'll tell you what, I've gone for Sugar Shane Long up front.
Of course you have.
Of course I have, Southampton Wonder Boy. But next week I've gone for Negredo as well, because the same logic. It's like, if he's going to have a great season, he's going to make a statement on week 1. He's at home, and he's against Stoke team, which, you know, they're not unimpregnable. So, right, we've done the goalkeepers, we've done the defenders, we've done the midfielders, we've done the strikers. Now, this is the lovely little thing about DraftKings is that we get a utility player as well. We do get the 8th man, and he could be of any position. So it's the money you've usually got left, and you're going to put it in onto a player who can make a massive difference. Nick, I'm going to start with you. Who's your utility player, and why have you selected him?
Well, I was conservative during my draft, so I had quite a bit of money to spend on the utility. So I took Raheem Sterling.
Gamble.
Yeah, gamble, but he was 7,000, I think. 7,600.
Yeah.
Lucky number 7. I just think he's going to be good points. I really think he's going to play. He's going to get me good points. He's going to have a good game. He's going to work well. I mean, if Aguero does well, that's going to work as well. So, yeah.
Well, hopefully he starts because, you know, he's got a new manager. He's got a very good manager now with Pep Guardiola. And any potential he's got should be brought through.
I hear that Guardiola's got a lot of faith in him.
Yeah, 31 games last
Had
year.
a hand in that transfer, apparently.
I think
told him.
that's a canny pick.
Can he pick? Can he pick?
And I had the cash.
And you had the cash left over. That's good budgeting. Andy, who's your utility player?
Well, look, utilities are either one or the other with me. I've either saved my money for a big wow utility at the end, or I'm fishing down the back of the sofa because I've only got 3,700 left. But for my 3,700, I think I've done all right. I've gone for Emilio and Sue, the Middlesbrough fullback. Right. We think Middlesbrough are going to keep a relatively, possibly a clean sheet. And he's been a reliable performer for them over the years. You look at his Wikipedia page, it's gone, he's played for every single level for Spain, except full caps. He now plays for Equatorial Guinea. So that's Emilio and Sue. He's going to be a neon of this season.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's always going to be around the 3,700 mark. And his points is going to average about 6 to 7 points a game.
But he is a fullback. He is a fullback, and as we know, fullbacks, they make ground. If they can get crosses in, they can be worthy point accumulators.
When he has 2 assists under the head of Negredo, we're going to be laughing.
Well, yeah. Well, you will, because you picked him. None of us did.
I won't be laughing.
But finally, Jamie,
We've managed to save the very best until last. Andros Townsend, Crystal Palace, 6,700, set piece potential, goals possibly, loads of shots, loads of crosses, none of them on target. And he finished so well with Newcastle last season. So, I'm really excited about Andros Townsend. He's the one player we've signed this summer who I'm like, yes, please play him ahead of Balassi. And we're selling Balassi, so he'll definitely be playing ahead of Balassi. 11.8 fantasy points per game last season. Very, very good for a player who's only 6,700.
Again, great logic from Jamie Hinks there. But that's our 8-man rosters. What about yours? Who are you going to pick? Get onto the app. Pick your 8-man roster. See if you can do better than these guys. This is DraftKings, everybody. Welcome to the big time.